You're not sharing screen with us.
Hey, John.
Hey, hey!
Hey.
Happy
And more
Friday!
importantly, today is Visa Day.
Oh yeah. Okay, because I don't work an office job, so I don't know what public holidays mean. But
Ah.
yay, happy public holiday, everyone.
So, Visa Day, right? What is it for?
No, because I
Ah.
fail social studies.
Okay, I tell you, it's to celebrate or to remember the life
Visa.
of Buddha.
Mm,
And he's attaining enlightenment, his birth, and then his death as a mortal.
right.
And as enlightenment, where does he go to?
Nirvana.
That's right. I'm glad you said Nirvana because today's song is by Nirvana.
Oh, okay. Buddha approve. Buddha approve.
Load up on guns, bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend. She's overboard and self assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello, 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 how low. Hello, 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 hello. With the lights out, it's less dangerous. Here we are now to entertain you. I feel stupid. It's contagious. Here we are now to entertain you. A mulatto, an albino, a mosquito, my libido, yeah.
Oh, Miss B, go away, don't disturb me. I have done no wrong, just go away and let me be. My mother and father, they warning me with the story. Oh, Miss B, go away, don't disturb me. Love and me, you annoy the ones that hate you. Miss B, go away, don't disturb me. I have done no wrong, just go away and let me be. My mother and father, they owing me the story. Miss B, go away, don't disturb me.
I really don't feel good. I'm getting a
Is anyone here? What did you find? You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.
Woohoo!
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another round of Friday Night Live. Today is 2nd June, also Visa Day with your host today. My name is Eugene Tay.
I'm Jonathan Lim.
Back to entertain you Friday night every other week without fail. No social life for us.
Yeah, so sad. Okay,
No
but
lah, but
no.
our
This is
social
the
life is you
best
all
place
lah.
to hang out. Yeah, this is the best place to hang
So
out.
I hang out with like 3 friends at coffee shop. I got 200 people I'm hanging out with every Friday, man. Rock on, people.
Wow. Okay, today's crowd is very exciting. Okay, today's crowd very exciting. Okay, first of all, of course, who was first? Of course, I didn't need to ask at all because again, it's Julian Fernandez first, and Alsatian Adrian Chua complaining that he's still second. Poor thing.
He's forever second.
Try harder, Alsatian.
11:30
Do
he
it.
come also still cannot be first place.
You need to find out where Jillian lives and then like hold her back from reaching her laptop.
Julian is in New Zealand, and if not Julian,
Oh
is
no!
if not her, it's actually Maureen.
Yeah, is Maureen here tonight?
Yeah, she is.
She's
She
usually
said
first
hello.
also, right? Yeah.
Mm.
So between these three people, and everyone else doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
My oh dear. Okay, but we have a lot of old faces as well as new
New
faces
one.
today. Yeah. Okay, so a big shout out to we're both very excited because we have someone from Andalusia, Spain. Iliore, welcome. I assume it's your first time.
First time, Virgin
First
Friday night.
Wow. Okay. Welcome, Iliore. Okay, who else do we
Donnie
have here?
Darwin's birthday tomorrow. He 1 year
Oh,
older.
happy advanced birthday.
Mm.
There I saw Maureen. There.
Mm.
Okay, yay. Jeron is here.
Numble Bumble is new. I think.
Oh,
is it
no,
new?
I've heard that before.
Numble
I've heard that before. No, the one that interests me is PSV Gaming, Clash Royale, and more. You look like a scam ad.
I know.
But my real name is Julian. I don't know if we can trust you. Are you a bot named Julian? Okay, if you are not a bot, please declare I am not a bot. Okay.
S Price asking who sang this song. The song Miss P is sung by our very own talented Singapore band Silver Stars.
Yeah, I got a chance to see them live last year at the live show. So exciting.
This year again, when we do live show,
Yeah.
they'll
And
be
we
our...
also dreaming of making music videos. So yeah, it'll be so exciting. Miss P. If you want the lyrics, someone in this chat group types the lyrics every day, every Friday, so you
Miss
can
P,
just follow.
You ask Miss P, Miss P will do it.
Yes. So who else is here?
Wah,
Anand.
Elaine, Sean, Vince
Anand is
Lee.
here. Witchy Yumeko.
That's Richie. Oh, Yumeko. Yes.
Yeah. Ultra Warrior. Hello, Ultra Warrior. Wow. Serene Tan. Lucas. Hi, Lucas. Ronald Wong. Wow. Okay. Kenny Polaris is here.
And the clock says, finally, the clock has come back to now.
Okay. It's very different when you're not here. So yeah, welcome back. Okay, Jacqueline. Lisa Mariska. Ding. Hello.
Saravanan Mutia asking, what's the theme song name? Miss P lah.
Yeah lah. Candy Chia. Hello.
Oh,
Is Candy Chia new? Hi. She says.
sounds
Okay.
new. I just saw someone
Yeah.
from Minneapolis. I
Who's from Minneapolis? Okay. Hi Minneapolis. Okay, our favorite shortest name, Rai. Hello, Rai.
we met Rai for the walk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah. Oh, The Other Realm. Hello, The Other Realm. I love your nickname.
Tic Tac Toe is new. Sick Beanie
that's-
right there. Oh, that's you.
Santok Singh. Hello, Joey Pei. Okay, Ling Yu LYI. Okay,
Abun, I
Ling
think,
Yu
is from
Lee.
Thailand. Sawadee krap.
Hello. Frankie, of course. Hi. Aspra. Okay, Aspra.
L's short too. Now we're saying who's shorter.
Anna Wong, Sai Prasad, Sean Lim, Nadia Tendi Golf. Oh, that's quite interesting. Hello, are you new, Nadia? Oh,
And there's RSVP by Grace as well. I think
hello.
also new.
Yeah, I never heard of her. Isabella Rosta. Okay. Sleepy Healer,
Yeah.
Jujube. Okay, lots
Rich,
of only. Sarah Vanan is here, so hello.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Elwin Kam.
Wow, Isabella Rosta from Sembawang. Wow, you're far, man. This one is...
Okay.
This
Sorry,
one,
I'm surprised Sembawang can receive the signal. Okay. So mean. Okay. Demonic Slayer. Oh, nice. Okay. Wow. Okay. Lots of people. Okay. If any of you are from overseas, please let us know. Okay. So we can give you a special shout out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so today's topic is
Wow.
Clair-Everything and Everywhere all at once. And then I know KK Heng
And-
is having his eclair somewhere in there today. He's
It's
like,
literally everything everywhere all at once because the topic is so broad and we have so many things that we want to talk about, but we will try to sort of zoom in and focus, okay? But yeah, I think it will spill into multiple episodes. So it's the beginning of a series.
okay, so got Sai Prasad. Shout out from India. Which are north or south? Which part of India?
Yeah, where in India are you?
Rebecca A. Pinto. Hello from Malaysia. League of Angels Singapore. That also sounds like
Nice.
another scam name.
yeah, League of Angels. Someone from Simei one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Choi Lane,
Wow.
Malaysia. The number
Yeah.
bubble. Who is Claire?
We got a lot of Malaysians in the group.
London,
so yeah,
London,
London.
Chris
Hello,
Pilgrim.
Chris Pilgrim. Yeah, nice. Okay, Tic Tac Toe. Why are you mentioning Guardian? Are you a pharmacy?
I scared to
What?
offend the host. Got protection for two entities. Yeah, yeah.
Ah, I
Detector,
see.
Ah. Say back
The
this about me.
only-
I can hear. No.
Yeah, no lah. The only entity that matters is the one that keeps the YouTube stream going. Okay,
Yeah.
so I hope you did all your prayers today. Okay.
Actually, I didn't. I today no time. I was setting
Oh
up.
no. Okay, then let's hope the Guardians are hearing. Please keep the stream going
Poppy,
smoothly.
Poppy, Poppy. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, Zimbabwe. Lightly salted.
That's
Jumbo.
nice.
Are you for
Lightly
real?
salted from Zimbabwe.
I don't
Nice.
believe.
That might be the furthest. No lah. Okay lah. London is further. Okay.
Alsatian Adrian from Bedok.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, yeah?
People. So okay, tonight, we want to deal with. I would say tonight is about gifts and powers, right?
Yes.
Because it's all about different manifestations of unusual abilities in human beings. Okay, of course, because we are supernatural confessions, is the supernatural gifts that we are more interested in. But we also will spill into all sorts of different gifts, lah. Okay, superpowers, shall we call them, right? So lots and lots of questions I foresee coming, come, you want to tell us how to make sure, if you have an exciting question, how to make sure it's heard?
That's correct. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, do like and share this post. The more people find us, the better it is. And also, if you want to be part of this conversation, well, just pop in your questions there on the chat group. But there are times where we will miss it because obviously when we are not looking at the screen. But if you want to get our attention, there is a $ below. Click on it. It's a super chat function. Pay any amount you want, bring the box up, put your questions in, and we will answer that question. Also, if you're feeling generous and you do want to support us and you're enjoying and you're laughing on Friday Night Live and you think, actually I could, I would have spent like $50 somewhere else drinking and boozing and going catch a movie. But you know what? These guys are so entertaining and you want to pop in your dollars and cents here, please do so. We are very grateful. There's a few other ways you can show us your enthusiasm and gratitude as well. One of them is buy me a coffee, buymeacoffee.com/superconfess. Or you could be like these champions, our patrons of Supernatural Confessions at patreon.com. Supernatural Confessions. Big shout out and thank you to sentient entities. And also Alex Armani who just popped in $5. Let's talk a more horror story, please. Will do. But let me thank the patrons first.
Akan datang.
Yes.
Okay.
Chua
Back
Elaine.
to the patrons.
Alsatian Adrian Chua, Mco Green,
correctly.
Zippy Matt, Queen Lai, and a new name, Saravanan.
Yeah.
Wandering Spirits, we have Karina J. Joel Go, who bumped into Team O yesterday on a plane, Deborah Confield, J.K. To, VL, Linda Hayden, and Ellie X. Restless Souls, we have Shi Chia To, Grace Chai, Katie Chia, Ron, Jack Ong, Kenny Polaris. Let's talk and more stories, please. We hear you. We hear you, Alex.
Okay, wow, Donnie Darwin. Thanks for the birthday shout out.
Hey.
Wow, and thank you for the birthday donation. Oh, I love it. We wish them birthday and they give us gifts.
Wow.
I like this deal.
Yeah. Tic-tac-toe, more talking, please. Okay. We'll talk ghost stories, okay? Don't worry.
Oh no, so how like that? More talking or more ghost stories?
Actually,
Never mind. Let's start a bidding war. Okay?
Actually, we have a psychic to come on the show tonight, but she couldn't make it due to unforeseen circumstances.
Nice
I can make joke too,
Yeah, give yourself your own rim shot, okay? All right, no, tonight is gonna be wild, okay? I must, okay, so Sai Prasad is saying that he loves how we pay attention to our chat and all that and the people in the audience, but that is a very important part of FNL. In fact, I think some days we can just spend the whole time just talking about what's in the chat.
I swear, one day we just do one. Usually around the end of season, we have something called AMA. And then we just have like 3 hours after. I mean, the show is an hour and a half, and we have another hour and a half of AMA, just answering your questions.
Yeah, because really there's so much exciting stuff and ideas and concepts and questions coming from you guys. So please keep them coming. Keep them coming, all right? And we will try to respond as much as we can.
Okay, so
yeah.
now, let's talk more stories. Your wish shall be answered. The first, so today's episode, I got to give a bit of preamble.
Sure.
Because today's episode is by our confessor called Yiling.
She's like the star confessor of the whole episode, right? That's quite rare. We seldom have that. Yeah.
Because I was blessed enough to be invited down to her house, and I
Mm.
had about almost 2.5 hours of chat with her, and we're not
Wait, wait, wait,
done.
wait. I'm feeling something. I'm getting a psychic premonition. Her house is somewhere like dark and scary.
Correct.
Yeah, where is it?
It's near
Somewhere.
Changi Hospital.
Wow.
Oh,
See,
you
I'm
know,
psychic.
huh?
Okay.
Oh, you got good memory. And so she was talking about her childhood all the way from 6 years old to when she's an adult. And I tell you, I was sitting there at the edge of my seat. I was so drawn to the conversation, and I want to share this
Mm,
moment with you guys. So there'll be
mm,
3 confessions today, all from her,
mm.
starting from the
Right.
very first of how her powers came to be. Because there's usually 2 kinds of
Ah.
ways that people like psychics get their powers: lineage
Mm. Yeah.
or a near-death encounter.
Tell us a little bit about her powers first before we find out the origin.
She is a person who is able to see spirits, talk to the dead. They will come to visit her. But what I
Oh.
found was extremely interesting is she
Mm.
has the ability, like Nicolas Cage, or in the show where he knows things in advance. So
Uh-huh.
she would have dreams, and they're actually
Oh.
premonitions, but it's so vivid that she can smell, look at the words, hear the voices, see colors and everything. And years later, when the scene happens, she recalls every single detail.
Right. Wow, that's quite a gift. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes. So I think her husband very stressed lah. Cannot bullshit her. or anything.
Okay, so let's hear the first confession that tells us how all this began in her life.
This one is Special Powers Unlocked. Confession by Yiling.
How did I know that I had this gift? I actually didn't really realize that I actually had this gift only like in my late 30s. I was just thinking that no, I'm abnormal. I'm just. Then when I relate my experience, people don't believe me, and then they say that yeah, you're over imaginative lah. So what started was I was really ill at the age of 6 years old. I had rare form of cancer. It was so rare that I was actually put on a case file to send to London for study. So at the point in time, because that's really in 1980s, pediatric surgery for cancer is actually quite challenging, especially that my case file like that. So what happened was I went through a massive surgery of several hours just to remove that tumor in my oral cavity. I lost a lot of blood, as what my mom told me, and I had emergency blood transfusion several rounds. Upon which, when I wake up, I was pushed out of the theatre. Then I was escorted to, I think, probably ICU. So that is when I first noticed something is very strange. Usually in ICU, right, now that I recall, I saw images, black figurines right in front of my bed, and then there were like several of them. And I keep hearing a lot of moanings and crying, especially in children. Then there were elderly people as well. Because now I understand how it works, right? When you're in ICU, you're not allowed to have so many visitors in your bed, and you're actually isolated. And then there were 4 or 5 of them, but they're in black grey images right at the end of the bed. Having so many people in that room, it does not make sense. So during that time in the recovery ward, we have really big ward that was, I only remember that it was this really big ward, like our class C ward, but then it's very isolated. It's right all the way at the end of this very long corridor, and each section, they are open air, okay? We do not have aircon that time. So each section have like for 8 beds. So there were 3 sections in so-called that one ward. And then because we are children, and I'm 6 years old that time, they put us, those who are very susceptible to infection and all that, under observation, 1 child in 1 section. I was in the middle section, and I remember that my mom was the accompanying adult to sleep with me at my bedside. So that night, it was about 9 o'clock, I remember, because lights out was 9. Then the nurse reminded that I had to turn off the light. So she turned off all the light in in the ward and told us to go to bed. So I only know that there's one girl right at the far end. She has kidney failure, very young, I think about 12 years old. I'm the second one in the middle one, in the middle section, and one's very young infant with leukemia right at the end of the other in the other section. So what happened was when they turned out the light, I had full-on intravenous drip on my left hand. I was kind of bounded because I can't really move very much. I remember because it's on the top floor, I think it was the 8th floor or something. I can see the rooftop and all the air circulator moving around. So moonlight was quite bright. And then looking at all the empty beds right in front of me, I can't sleep. My mom went out to wash up, so she was not with me. I was alone. So I was lying in my bed. Then I was like just staring at ceiling, staring at this, staring at that. Suddenly my gaze looking right across at the foot of the bed opposite me. It's a very, very thick mist. I just observe and look and look and look. I thought eyes playing trick, eyes playing trick.
Is at the foot of your bed or foot of the
The
other?
foot of the bed directly
you.
opposite me.
Okay. So there's no light around because it's already 9 o'clock, it's all
Yes.
lights off.
Yeah.
But yet the smoky thing emitted its own light.
Yeah. This whitish thing start coming up. So after a while, I goodness Lord, I think it's about 5-10 minutes. It starts to form and take shape, like it becomes like a little bit more like a silhouette. So my hand limited movement because of the drip and the needle.
Yeah.
So I have a teddy bear. I think a teddy bear on the door of my hand. So I decided, okay, let's get up and see what is that. So I got up and tried my best, climbed to the end and the foot of my own bed, and then I started going, hey, what are you? Then I take my door and then I try to fling and get his attention,
Yeah.
So when I'm because of the limitation of my drip on my hand, I'm already like back stretching my hand so that the needle doesn't pop out, right? But I still have quite a big gap
To the other bed.
to the other bed
Yeah.
because there's a common walkway and
Yeah.
So I still straining myself. That's where I started to see the thing form a lot clearer.
Oh.
It formed the shape of a small girl. It's a girl. And because it has long hair. This thing was sitting on the foot of the bed. I could see the top part all the way until the kneecap. Past the kneecap a little bit. Then after that, the lower part, nothing. It was nothing. So I just keep trying to, hey, look at me, you want to play or not, But then it's not responding. The weird thing started when I hear creaking sound. And the creaking sound didn't come from my bed. Because, our beds all will have wheels because when they're being wheeled out. My bed was not moving because it was locked on 4 sides. And then the sound started, why is that creaking like, then that's when I looked at it, and then I saw the movement. This girl was doing a rocking back and forth. I can still remember that sound.
Oh.
And the craziest thing is, I hit my door and threw it. It went straight through and it went onto the other side.
Yeah.
And then my mom came and she turned on the, at the back we have one big light, right?
Yeah.
She said, what are you doing? You're supposed to lie down and then your hand like that and then the needle will pop out and blah, blah, blah. She screamed on the light, how come don't have already? Mama, there's one girl there, and then she's down there, you see her, you saw her now. You say you must be crazy. Like, I'm not crazy lah. Go and sleep lah. Then I asked the nurse to give you the certificate.
Your mom sounds like a typical Singaporean mother.
Yeah. So she gave me slap my head and then go to bed and that kind of thing. Then why you throw your things anyhow throw? Then she take and then put back and then ask me go and sleep. So that was the first and actual that I've ever seen.
Okay.
From then on, it was multitude of really strange things that I experienced. So there are some that are really significant that I will tell you later.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh, Nice one.
Okay, so exciting, so thrilling. Wow, I tell you,
And there we have that lady in the middle. That is Amelia.
hello,
Hi,
Amelia.
everyone. I'm Amelia. So
Amelia.
I'm actually the psychic, and I'm here. And yeah, so I integrate East and West, and I do energy healing and Bazi and Feng Shui. So today
Wow.
I'm here to talk about the stories that we just heard.
Yeah.
So
So from your very broad experience, okay,
yes,
give us your perspective, right? What do you think about her experience of Eiling's gaining of powers and all that, right?
first of all, it's very
Mm.
common
Ah.
because a lot of people, when they undergo some kind of trauma,
Mm.
they may it may trigger certain sort of abilities,
Ah.
and I believe that sometimes it's the abilities already in their birth chart and energy, and the
Uh-huh.
trauma kind of just like surface it. Sometimes is as a survivor sort of instinct, they
Mm.
may
Mm.
reawaken actually past life abilities like as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you
So
mean it's possible that if, let's say, the trauma didn't happen, it will just lie
yeah,
latent in them until
correct.
whenever lah. Oh.
It can be
Oh.
dormant until a very long time. So, for example, like my own psychic teacher. So,
Mm.
at one point in time, she's like top psychic of Australia, but she
Wow.
didn't awaken her ability until she was in her 30s.
Mm.
And how she awakened it was she also got like seriously ill. So, for a
Ah.
lot of old school healers, right, which is like pre 2012, we
Mm.
find that usually trauma triggers like abilities. Yeah.
Ah, well, I like that it's like the pre 2012 thinking and the post
Yeah.
2012 thinking.
Why is
That's
it
very-
2000,
But you see,
2012 is important? You got to explain why.
yeah, so 2012 there was actually a shift in the whole cosmic
Mm.
energy, and a certain portals like opened up and shifted. So
Oh.
our energy bodies also become lighter, so it became easier to actually access our psychic abilities. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
okay,
But
okay. I
like if you like those super, like if you watch anime or like the superhero shows
yeah,
and
yeah,
all,
yeah, yeah,
that's actually a very common thing. It's like it's always some kind of crisis or trauma,
Mm.
then they whoa, suddenly they have this
Yeah.
boost of like superpower. Yeah.
So that's the truth lah. Oh, very interesting.
Yeah,
I, I
yeah.
I have a different theory because when she was sharing about what happened to her when she was 6 years old, right? And she lost a lot of blood, right? And she had the blood transfusion. And I thought, just like the eye, maybe she got her powers because she got blood from a psychic. Is that possible? Is that possible?
I would like to not encourage that thinking, because then a lot of people will come after me for my blood.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a possibility, but until now, it's not been proven because, for
Hmm.
example, there are some people who have awakened their abilities through trauma not related to blood transfusion.
Like no,
Yeah.
without surgery lah.
Correct. Yeah.
Can emotional trauma also do it? That, or must it be physical trauma?
It must be very intense emotional trauma like
Okay.
PTSD
Ah.
or like some kind of depression seldom awaken like psychic abilities. It
Right.
has to be something which is like intense, like really intense. Not to say
So-
depression is not intense, but like
Mm.
something sudden crisis like
Yeah,
intense.
something more explosive
Yeah.
and impactful, right? Because depression is also something that's very slow
Correct.
and insidious and heavy, so it's a different
Yeah.
feeling,
Yeah.
right? I think depression would suppress more than sort of encourage.
That's correct. So
Yeah.
you tend to suppress yourself. So
Mm.
for Eiling's experience is quite interesting because what she awakened is what we call the medium ability. So
Ah.
so not like a medium
Not
rare
extra
like
large.
but like
Small,
medium,
medium, large.
Yeah.
no, like medium meaning they can actually sort of see ghosts and they can communicate with people who have passed on.
Mm.
But the medium abilities, they tend to communicate with what we call lower entities. That means they will see
Okay.
like spirits, they may see elementals, which are kind of like a nature type of like entities and all.
Yep.
They will also see like even like demons and stuff.
Right.
But unlikely to see kind of like angels and like spirit guides, like higher level guides. Yeah.
Mm.
And we find
Okay.
that in children it's very common because their protection is low. So it allows like the fact that the ghost can get so near to her, literally sitting on her bed and like influence the external environment around her.
Yeah.
Her own protection energy must be very low, because like for
Right.
me, when I walk into like a space, sometimes it's like the ghosts are like 10 meters away, because you can expand. Adults normally we can expand our energy field. Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Mm.
I'm very interested in the comment that Vince Lee made, which is
Mm.
I had trauma recently. I fell off my bike, but no powers unlocked. Yeah lah.
Okay.
Sadly, I also fell off my bike that time last year. Still have to do
Okay.
Friday Night Live from the hospital. So obviously, I did not
Okay.
I did not unlock any powers.
Uh,
Okay,
so
so
answering Vince like queries, it depends whether your birth chart has inherent psychic abilities
ah
or your ancestral lineage has it or not. So if you don't have any, right, then unfortunately, no matter what you do, you can like impale yourself on a spear or whatever. You're still not gonna get like the
oh,
psychic
okay. So not
ability.
fated means not fated
Yeah,
lah.
not
Okay,
fated means not fated.
so please do not try this at home. Please do not give yourself
Mm,
trauma just to
mm,
hope to get abilities. Okay, it's not gonna
mm.
happen. And also taking blood transfusions from
Yeah,
from
do not look for
Amelia
me for the
will not
blood
happen
transfusion.
also. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Mm,
I want to talk about the entity that she saw. Right.
mm,
This child. Right.
mm.
What's your take on that?
Okay,
Wh-
so in hospitals, there are
Mm,
actually a lot of like entities. So, for
mm,
example, some of my clients who are doctors, right? Actually, sometimes they come for clearing because there are like some entities like attached to them and stuff.
mm.
So we always teach them energy management. For
I love
her,
that. Management.
yeah, energy management, like how to manage their energy so that they can protect themselves. Okay, so for Yiling, what happens is
Mm.
that her so light attract lights in the psychic world. So for example, if you're a
Ah.
child, you tend to attract
Mm.
children ghosts because
Right.
the adult is not interested in you. So for example, if
Mm.
you're like a sexy like woman in hospital, you'll probably attract like this lewd
Uh,
like male ghost probably. I think here.
色鬼, okay?
Yeah, that's
Right.
okay. So
Both living and dead, both will come.
yeah,
Both
both
types
living
of
and
色.
dead, both living and dead. Yeah. So so because she's a child, she will attract another child like
Mm.
ghost. Sometimes it's also because the ghost has been very lonely because most
Mm.
people cannot see them. Actually,
Right.
if you walk into any hospital,
Ah.
instantly are surrounded by at least a dozen ghosts. But most
Right.
people
Wow.
don't know. Okay.
So, and they
Yeah.
all want attention? Is that sort of why?
Not
Or
necessarily. So it
mm.
depends on so for example, there are some ghosts whereby they are immersed in a particular emotion. So
Yeah.
they may not require human sort of like
Yeah.
attention.
They
But
got
in
better
this
things to
case
do
here,
lah.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, correct. So in this case here with Ealing, what happens
Mm.
is that the little child ghost may actually be lonely
Mm.
and unable to understand that she has passed on and
Mm.
trying to look for a friend. So when you see
Right.
Yiling, who's 6 years old, she think, oh, it's my friend. It's
Mm.
like how children like to play with other
Yeah,
children.
yeah, yeah.
That's why it's like, oh, so try to go and like,
Yeah, yeah.
like play with
Like
her.
that.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
But what's interesting is, so here you have Eileen going, right? And the ghost actually ghosted her.
Yeah,
Right? And the ghost
yeah.
literally just sit there and keep rocking and keep rocking. So is it possible that also the ghost herself, like you mentioned that it could be freshly deceased and
Mm.
not aware, maybe it didn't know that Eileen
Yes.
was trying to reach out to her also.
Usually for
Ah.
people with medium abilities, if you
Ah.
can see the ghost can see you too.
So it knows
Yeah.
lah. So then
Yeah.
the fact that it's ignoring her is because she tao. She's like, I don't want to be your friend.
Yeah, because it's like human beings, right? You're not
Uh-huh.
randomly, indiscriminately trying to be friends with everyone. Sometimes you just see people you don't like, and I think kids do it a
Uh-oh.
lot.
Oh no, so sad. It's like I can see ghosts, but ghosts ignore me.
Yeah. Actually, it's true. Sometimes if you can see a ghost and
Mm.
allow the ghost to approach you rather than trying to talk to them, because sometimes they may ignore you if you're
right.
not in the same kind of like sphere or you don't have energy that actually attracts like them.
So everyone take note. Ghosts can also play hard to get, right? So if you don't get contact from the other side, sometimes it's because they don't want you to contact you. They boch up you.
Oh, Allah.
Yeah, but I have to be careful because if the ghost is reaching out to you, usually they want something from you, and it depends on whether do they want something which is relatively harmless, like just somebody to talk to or for you to carry a message, or do they actually like want to take something
want
like
your
your soul or your energy?
But what
or
do
so-
ghosts really want? Is there like a list of things that ghosts, want from a person?
Yeah, they have a checklist.
Yes, I'm sure they have. I'm sure
no,
this is
actually-
the post bucket list.
Okay, they
Right.
do. So but unlike humans who are very
Mm.
greedy and we want like tons of things, most
Mm.
ghosts, they usually are hanging on to one particular thing or,
Right.
or emotion. So they're emotion driven sometimes. And
Yes.
and I find that what happens is that they like they sometimes it's driven by the last incident that had actually happened to them before
Yeah.
death.
Right.
Yeah, so if
Yeah.
they have a message that they wanted to say to their family and they didn't get a chance to, then that becomes like their obsession when they're like a ghost. So they
Yeah.
keep searching for people to try to like give them a message, But unfortunately, most humans, if you can see ghosts, you're so freaked out that you actually don't listen. You're probably
Yeah.
run out screaming, It's like
That's very interesting. I've always believed that ghosts are kind of proof of obsessions, right? Because the very fact that they exist is because there's something they cannot let go of, right? And it is that obsession, that focus, that in a way it sort of gives them the power to concentrate, and their energies can become manifested because there's something to focus on. If they were as easily distracted as a normal human being, then I think they would just scatter lah.
Yeah.
Humans are multitasking, multi-thinking, right? But ghosts
Correct.
have to be zooming in on one thing. So that's why sometimes you always complain that ghost movie very boring. The ghosts always do the same thing because they are really on one track,
It's true. It's true.
right? One track mind.
One thing interesting is because 7 months is gonna come quite soon for us. Right? During the 7 month, I noticed that there's this phenomenon whereby humans become like private hire cars for
To tumpang the ghost.
yeah, like tumpang the ghost from one place to the other.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
what are the things that would make you a good hire car versus a bad hire car? In
If
other
your
words,
luck is not good, so usually if your luck is super good and your energy is super strong, they can't get near you. So either you're down on your luck, or you have so much stress and negative energy that your energy field is very like small, and therefore they can like hook onto you.
so you're becoming very yin lah.
Yeah, you're very very in.
Yeah.
Or you have a lot of like, or for example, you're like a medium, but you don't know it. So your energy is actually conducive to or prone to opening up to like spirits.
Correct. Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah,
Eugene is like
so-
exciting until mouth open. Cannot close his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
for
because
people
you said
who
you
want
could
to try-
tell psychic abilities. Right? Can you look at me and tell? I mean, you met me before. Do I have psychic abilities?
Yes, to a certain extent.
Okay, what extent? Not medium
you have
abilities.
you have the common ones lah.
The common ones.
No, yeah, the common ones and some not so common ones. Okay. So
Wow.
the reality is that people I actually do a psychic ability analysis for my clients.
Wow.
Where I will list out all your psychic abilities, your psychic potential grading, as well as like your energy profile and things like your shadow aspects, which is like what's holding you back in your energy and subconscious. So for Eugene, because like I've worked on your energy before, so you definitely have the 4 clairs, which is clairsentient, where you can feel energy, clairvoyance, where you can see energy, clairaudience, where you can hear energy, and claircognizance, where you can actually download information from like the universe. Okay? On top of that, you also have some medium ability. Okay. However, I think you're only in like beginner and intermediate, if I remember correctly. So you're not able to control the ability. It's erratic. It comes and go. Often it might be triggered by fear or the greater environment. Something is happening. Yeah. So
you
I
have
think
medium activity.
Now I know
medium,
why my
medium.
power never trigger lah, because he said trigger by fear, but Eugene Tay isn't scared of anything.
Is it?
So that's why
Okay.
never
Is it?
trigger.
Let's put him in a cage with cockroaches.
Okay.
And then
How I
suddenly he will
know?
become a medium.
Yeah.
All right.
any kind of fear can trigger it. Or
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, so I'm sure, but anyway, it's inherent in your birth chart, because I know your birth chart, right? But I'm not going to review it. But people who want to know can bribe me. But yeah, come to my channel, The Other Realm, and like bribe me, and then I'll tell you Eugene's birth chart if you want to know. Okay.
So
anyway.
how do you use the birth chart? Are we talking about like the traditional 八字 kind of
Yes,
way?
yes.
Okay. So
So,
that's where some traditional sort of processes come in lah.
Yeah. So what happens is that looking at the birth chart, there are certain configurations which dictate that you have psychic powers and the extent that you may have it. So for example, there's this configuration in the 八字, right? That is called the gate of heaven and hell. Ta-da. Yeah.
That's
So
like the
basically-
best one, is it?
No lah, it's not the best one. But basically, you have like a dog and a dragon in your birth chart. Okay, so usually people who have that configuration,
Ah.
they will have some measure of psychic powers. How much psychic powers they actually have depends on, number one, is there ancestral lineage? That means do they inherit powers on top of that?
Right.
Secondly, are they able to also awaken like past life abilities? And then third is, are there other configurations in their chart that also point towards psychic powers? So the more you have in your chart which points towards psychic powers, the more powerful you can be.
Wow. Okay, so now it's 10:40. Now, if you want to follow my journey to unlock my secret powers and you want to, support me before I become too uber powerful, well, the way to do it is to check this little ad out. Thank you for listening to the Supernatural Confessions podcast. If you are enjoying the show and would like to support our efforts, you can help by giving us a 5-star review or by becoming a patron by signing up for a monthly membership fee that starts from as low as $5. Check out the perks at patreon.com/supernaturalconfessions. That's patreon.com/supernaturalconfessions. Or if you feel like showing a simple gesture of appreciation, you can buy us a cup of coffee or two at buymeacoffee.com/superconfess. And now, let's get back to the show.
Wow, so many questions. Okay, we're gonna let's look at some of the questions.
Yeah,
that
we start from
came.
the early ones that I didn't get to mention. From Reka.
Yeah.
Reka says, Amelia, do you do reading from overseas?
Yes, I can do via Zoom.
Wow.
So cool.
Really modern.
Only Zoom, is it? Other chat formats cannot. Huh? It's like
If you
Microsoft
want
Teams
Skype
cannot.
or WhatsApp video or something, but the first session I need a video of you because I need to look at your energy apart from your birth chart, because I do an integrated version, not just only from the birth chart. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
No
So
dick
someone
pics,
asked,
please.
what is your day job, Amelia? Frankie is asking.
My day job is being a psychic. So I do this reading,
Full-time.
psychic ability analysis, healing, etc. And also remove black magic and hexes, by the way. So I do all of that. That's my day job. I make my money through it.
Okay.
All right, man. So please do not hesitate to approach her if you have something that you need or if you want to find out about yourself. Okay, wait. I want to insert one question because I wanted to ask this. So is it possible, right, that some people really just have zero psychic ability?
Yes.
Is that very common? Is that like the majority of people? Because we all like to wish that we have something latent, right? But the truth is how?
Yes, so 80% of the population will not have psychic abilities, but they could be intuitive. That means you still have a feeling about stuff and all. But what defines psychic powers is that you actually have the potential to hone it. That means you can train it to become better. Okay,
Right.
so it's a bit like everybody can walk, but can you become an Olympic runner? Unlikely.
Everybody likes music, but can you play the piano lah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens if someone comes to you and says, "Hey, please give me analysis," but then it turns out they have nothing at all? How like that?
No, we will filter first. We'll look at we'll say, can you look at your birth chart first? And then I'll look at the birth chart. And then if there's absolutely no, then I will try to persuade them, just do an energy healing. Maybe we
Don't
can
waste
look at
money.
your past life.
Keep your money.
Yeah, you can look at your past lives, and then but I have one case on record whereby she didn't have any sort of psychic abilities to start with, but she's very interested in spiritual cultivation. And then after 8 years, so it's a long journey, after 8 years, she awakened past life abilities, and tada, now she is quite good with her psychic powers.
Wow.
Yeah.
So timing also plays a part.
Yeah.
Wow,
You
okay.
have to work hard. No?
So many factors.
I guess, Amelia, you probably know the the next few questions I'm going to ask you.
Which is
So
ask.
SSK is asking, are you able to read anyone from the chat today? Like, can you do a live for us?
only if I can see the only if I can see the video. That means I need their image or their photo.
She can do John lah.
And,
Jonathan
yeah.
can.
Maybe
and their birth chart. Yeah.
So no matter how much you donate in a super chat, she cannot feel your energy
Yeah.
profile from here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But don't let that stop you. Okay.
Yeah.
Joey
because
pays.
the thing is that most people hide behind their persona online. That's why it's hard to because it's an intentional. And for psychics, the ethical thing is that I don't go where you don't want me to probe.
Right.
So like if I'm trying to read Jonathan and then I feel a resistance, I stop.
Okay.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Like anal
It's
sex lah.
ethical, only ethical. It's like you don't just go to somebody's house and open their room and look
Yeah.
through their underwear, right? Yeah.
Well,
Okay, Joey,
not
wait.
everyone does, but okay.
Okay, got
Oh,
some more
Okay,
questions.
any more
Lot
questions?
more. Okay, so Joey
Any more
Pei
questions? Okay, come.
says this is very interesting. When my paternal grandma passed away, it impacted me so much that for a while I could feel and was very sensitive to otherworldly beings. It seems to be wearing off though.
So are there such things as temporary sort of spikes in psychic ability?
It's a bit like a volcano. So so if you have this kind of ability, you definitely would have had it in your chart. But if you're not practicing it, then after a while it regresses and it becomes dormant. Yeah.
Right. So it's like that time I told Eugene this before, right? I went to some temple in Geylang and they opened my eye, my third eye, and then like 3 days later it closed because I didn't do anything to keep it
Correct.
open. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. So it does take a lot of work. Yeah.
It does. You must constantly hone the abilities, otherwise it becomes dormant.
Okay.
Understood.
Joe,
understood.
League of Angels Singapore says, "Are you a witch, Amelia?"
No, I'm not a witch. I'm a psychic and a metaphysician.
Okay.
Everything I do can be linked to like real practical life stuff, and I don't do Wiccan like rituals, so I'm not a witch. Yeah,
So
but
she's
Amelia
not-
has crystal balls. She don't have the broom.
She's not a Blair witch, she's a Clair witch. Okay.
Ouch.
Ooh, high level.
Yeah.
High level. Okay, high
Joey
level.
Pei, question to Amelia. Would you know? Okay, so I think this one you answered just now. Would you know if another person has psychic abilities and how strong their abilities are?
Yes.
That's her skill. That's her job,
we can
literally.
analyze your blueprint.
Isabella Rosta is asking, Amelia, can you read past life? I will answer this one because I had my past life read from Amelia.
Ooh.
Yes. Hanjay is asking, Amelia, it seems you can tell many stuff. Energies, past life. Any limitations?
Is there something that is blocked from you, or
Yes. The human body. So, for example, if you come into a session and you're very scared and you're very tense, then your energy doesn't open up. Then there will be less information that I can get. Yeah.
So that's kind of the resistance that you were mentioning,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So if let's say, for example, someone who is skeptical, who doesn't believe in this type of powers, can you get past their skepticism?
If they are open, so if you can be skeptical and open. If you're open, you're okay. But
Right.
if you're skeptical and then when I'm trying to work on your energy, you're like blocking me all the way, then I'll just tell you, you just wasted your money, but that's fine because because you already paid.
I love that. As long as the wallet is open, we can talk,
Yes.
but it takes
Yeah,
more
I
than
can
that.
do anything as long as the wallet is open.
Yeah, that's very practical. I like that. So okay, very interesting. Okay, so our next confession is quite interesting. Okay, because it's still from Eling, but it is about one of her less supernatural. It's not about her seeing the dead or seeing ghosts, but one of her other gifts. Okay, and after that, we would love to hear Amelia's take on that gift of hers.
This is I Saw My Future Husband. Confession by Healing. From ghost to future husband. Quite scary.
Nice.
But the common thing as the years of growing up, the strongest thing that I had was deja vu. I literally see images of things that happen in the future that I have not known before, have not seen before, and don't know what they are. Okay, and in my dreams, they're vivid, real. I can hear sentences. I can see the surrounding. I can smell. When it happens in real life, when our daily life go out, sometimes I'll be stopped in my path. I've seen this scene before. I know what's going to happen next. The most eerie one was actually on our honeymoon.
I see your husband nodding.
Yeah, that time when I had a dream was, I remember I was about 30, and in my late 30s lah. So I was still single. So there was this one night that I dreamt. I dreamt that it was a restaurant seating. There were boats, there were a lot of water. It was like somewhat like a marina. I walked into this cafe thing, and I noticed that there was ceiling fan, and then I noticed a number of people that were sitting right across me, what they are wearing, how they look like. It was clear as day. I looked at myself, I saw myself holding onto a menu, and I could see the things written on the menu. I can see food on my left and on my right. My right was an empty table. I saw that the waiter came along, brought someone in, and sat right to me. Okay? And that person ordered a bottle of sparkling water in a dark green bottle. I looked up, I saw this person sitting right across from me. I could see the outline of what he's wearing, but I can't see the face. It's a blur, absolute blur. I can see a silhouette of the head, the body, but the face is like a hard-boiled egg.
No feature, nothing.
No feature, nothing.
Ooh.
No feature, nothing. Then I only know that next thing the waiter, he read out what would you like to have. And then this person in front of me said something, but I could not hear him at all.
Okay.
Yeah, that he said something that was a bit of like whisper kind of.
Okay, so the whole words just like really gobble up like
You can't hear really much of anything, but
Okay.
you know that he's gesturing.
Yeah.
And you can hear the waiter very clear. I can look at my menu very clear. The design.
So everything is clear except
very clear,
that man in front
except
of you.
the man in front of me. So when I met him, that was already like 2 years after that dream.
Okay.
And we got married 2 years after that. I know 1 year after that. So that was typically total of 3 years.
Yeah.
So we went on a honeymoon in New Zealand. On that very day, he brought me to the New Zealand Maritime Museum at the marina in Auckland. So as we were like, okay, walk down the marina. So as I was walking with each step, I'm like, oh shit,
You've seen this before
I've
somewhere.
seen this before.
Yeah.
I know what's happening. I know where I'm walking. Okay, I'm going to walk on this plank. I'm going to walk there. And we're going to that restaurant. And there I am, really walking into it. I'm living that dream. And then we were let in, sat down, and just sit right where it was exactly the same as my dream. He was sitting right across from me. I said, oh my God, I told him right there, I've seen this before. I know what is going to happen next. Then I even told him, just in a while, the waiter is going to bring this couple and sit next to us. And they're going to order a bottle of sparkling water in green bottle. I foresee my future husband in my dream.
But you didn't see the face. You can't hear the voice as well.
Yes. I foresee my honeymoon at where we went for a meal.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like, how is my brain wired to do this kind of thing? You know? So everything that I related to him, I tell him that, okay, next moment this person is going to sit down and then what they are going to order. I told him right there, I've seen this before. I know what is going to happen next. And then he just sit there and the blood drained from the face. And then, I mean, this is one of the many of the deja vu, but this is one of the most significant that. So when I relate to families about that, they don't believe me, and then very often the first thing I get is, you over imagine think so much you got nothing better to do you know, then you sort of like recluse back into yourself and okay, fine.
Yay!
Now we're back.
Wow, this is a very interesting story. It's a hard-boiled egg story. Okay, so deja vu is something that happens to everybody, right? I mean, Eugene, you've had deja vu, right? You know,
Not as often as
some
Eileen.
people.
Yeah.
And some people. I mean, sometimes the kind of deja vu I get, unfortunately, never reveals anything interesting. It's just the boring bits. You know, like, oh, walking home, I bought a pao. Like, hey, I bought this pao before. You know, and then like, why am I dreaming? It's the same question that Eileen asked. How is my mind wired that I predict the most stupid and pointless things? But the belief about deja vu, right, is, I mean, there are quite a few different theories about it, right? The word itself, right, from the French means already dreamed, right? That's what deja vu means, right? So the main concept, the main belief is that you are seeing something which you predicted for yourself. I've dreamed it before, and now it happens, right? But the sort of parahantu version of it is actually that because of the way that time works, right? Everything that has happened has already happened. Everything that's going to happen has also already happened. So you are just getting a sideways glimpse. You know, you're not seeing the future, but you are seeing the parallel sort of, So, for example, the way I would describe it in a simple way is, it's like you have all the videos in your hard drive, but only when you choose a video and you play do you see the video moving forward second by second by second.
See, but that also
actually
means that the world is actually all.
everything is predetermined. It's not even predetermined, it's already settled. It's just that we experience one thread of time at a moment, and we experience it forwards because humans are limited,
So
right?
multiverse.
I.e., everything everywhere all at once.
That's why the title of this
Exactly,
today's show.
correct. Yeah, so all of it is already there. So when you consider that, right, it's not surprising that deja vu can happen, because you're basically getting a screenshot from a video that you have not accessed yet. You don't even know that video is in your file, but someday you will. It's on your playlist later on, right? So yeah, I think computers are a very good way to understand the human mind. But is deja vu what happened to Yiling? Let's ask our specialist.
Actually, no. Okay,
No?
I mean, whatever John, like you've said, right? It happens for the average person when they don't have like psychic abilities. So the whole point of having psychic abilities is like superpowers. It allows you to transcend the normal limitations, and basically what happens is that you now have more control and more free will. Okay.
Okay.
But based on the detail that Yiling has described and everything that has happened, and the fact that she has got psychic abilities, what she experienced is actually not deja vu, but rather this psychic ability, which is called the divination ability. So people with divination ability, you can foretell things. So for example, one of the strongest divination ability is Nostradamus.
Of course,
Yeah,
yes.
so they have so for example, he's able to foretell things in great detail and etc. And in so much in the future that he is not in a position to experience it in his lifetime. So these are actually divination ability. However, because Yiling never like train or hone the ability and stuff, so therefore it only sort of like it only zone in on something that really mattered to her, which is her love life. Which yeah. yeah. Yeah, it is true. So divination ability is extremely sort of like useful, because you can also use it if you train it to ask for lottery numbers.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Suddenly everyone sit up like pay attention.
Those fortune tellers, they can actually give you like numbers, and then they actually sort of like are quite accurate. It's usually because they have divination abilities.
Right. Then does it mean that the ones who use the little bird in the cage, does that mean that the little bird in the cage has the divination ability?
The bird has divination ability. No, but usually nature, certain sort of like animals, sometimes they acquire this like consciousness, and they actually are able to sort of divine certain things. And in fact, like for people that are interested, you can hone your divination abilities by using the pendulum, or like reading like oracle cards for yourself.
Okay. Wow. Now some of you are there.
Remember this one? I got it from you. I got it from Amelia.
Yeah, I know. He got it from me, and I taught him how to use it.
Wow. Okay.
Mine works funny because people will remember Amelia. Yes, will usually be clockwise for most people.
Yeah.
Mine counterclockwise.
You hold in the other hand, or
I
maybe
rebel.
yours is designed for Australia only, so it works wrong direct Coriolis effect. No, something interesting I must share, right? So some of you may be thinking, well, all this stuff is very pagan and very new age and everything, and if you're from a religious background, it may be hard to comprehend. But actually, not so, because my mom, right? I don't want to reveal too much, but my mom is a devout Christian. And it is only in her new church, right, and not new anymore, like it's been many years, that she discovered her divination abilities. She was told that she would become the congregation's prophet, right? Because every congregation, the Holy Spirit chooses one.
Yes.
and sends messages through that person. And so she was actually sent to go training on some mountaintop in Indonesia, macam Shang-Chi like that, right? When training to hone her prophet abilities for the sake of her community in church, right? So
Yeah.
it does happen in, I think, many faiths,
Yes.
and it's called many things, right? In many
Yeah.
languages and many cultures. So yeah, but it's common to all of us, lah, apparently. Well,
You're even in a church, right? Like for example, you have exorcists. You have exorcists. So exorcists actually is exists across all the spiritual traditions,
That's
especially
true.
shamans and stuff.
Yeah.
But with a different sort of like ritual.
Yeah, I see it like this, like everyone needs a plumber. Every culture needs a plumber. Every culture also needs an exorcist, But okay. So I think that we have something very special lined up as a sort of highlight of all this. To sort of it's like the fireworks of our discussion,
Wow,
right? It's
okay,
like,
okay. So
about psychic abilities.
while that's happening, I'm going to be reading out some questions first.
Okay.
Okay.
But you know what? Right before that, let us just have this. Supernatural Confessions was created as a safe space for people to share their paranormal encounters. If you or someone you know has a strange encounter to share, we want to hear about it. You can type it to us, send us a voice memo, or even meet me for a face-to-face interview.
I don't wanna get in trouble,
Visit supernaturalconfessions.com for more info.
but every time I hear you laugh, I get into trouble.
Hello.
All right. So you can look there. You can shift in a bit.
Everybody,
No,
we have a
the chair will
very,
break, so
very
don't-
special guest. Okay, from the chat, she has suddenly
Press yourself,
become live with us.
Oh.
Okay, hello, this
Okay,
is
I cannot hear, so you
RSVP
can
by
hear.
Grace.
Well, everyone, this is Grace Chai. That's RSVP by Grace, my wife, in case you guys don't know.
Hi,
So,
Grace.
Amelia, you're going to be reading off someone, and you need to see the person in the flesh. Nah,
Yep.
here's for you.
Yes.
And
Okay.
Amelia's going to go nearer what?
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it's fine. I can see it now. Yeah. So I'm gonna just tap your energy and see what some of the messages actually get comes out. And also, Eugene got to stand further away. Your energy field is interfering with hers.
Yeah,
You're too
Eugene,
near.
you're blocking her energy. Go away.
Your energy is intersecting with hers, and so it's not pure. Okay. Can okay. Okay. So Grace, your energy, some imbalances with your solar plexus, which is actually your emotion center. So your energy field is a very unstable orangey yellow, which also means that you're very focused on like very practical stuff like in your life at the moment. And there is a bit of like you need to believe more in yourself because your solar plexus needs more like confidence like energy. At the same time, tuning into the energy around like your heart, you have like a no pain no gain energy, so very long suffering. Please don't suffer Eugene anymore. You can just like whack him, you know. yeah, there's a suffering like you're like very okay, like very tolerant, overly tolerant. Okay. But that becomes a problem because it destabilizes actually your throat chakra, which may mean that you can have like sudden outbursts, like you've had it and then you just like lose control of your emotions and stuff. Yeah. Also in terms of like your energy, there is some you need you are not detoxing properly. So I see actually some energy breakages. So your protection around your energy field is not like ideal because I see a lot of cracks in your energy. So that means that you may be absorbing a lot of negative energy, maybe from Eugene, maybe from people around you. Yeah, so you may want to clear yourself like more and stay away from Eugene. No, I didn't say that. You can't, right? It's like and
I see a trend.
karmic
Okay.
thing. Maybe you will owe him, then you have to. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so and you want to also try to work on balancing your hormones because there's some issues around your thyroid and your thymus gland. So thyroid is here, thymus is here. Is not balanced. Yeah. Okay. So any other question? Any question for me?
No.
I'm curious, right? I don't mind, Grace. I ask it on your behalf, right? So apart from Eugene being a distracting influence, right? He's got lots of things in the house which also may contain negative energies. Is
Yeah.
that something that could be affecting
Yes.
Grace?
Yes. Usually the human energy affects the most, and then
Right.
the external environment, which could be things and stuff, is
Ah.
a close second. So, for example,
okay.
if Grace can clear her energy and protect herself better, so that Eugene's energy doesn't affect her, then she will also be less affected by whatever there is in the house. Yeah.
So if you're safe from Eugene, you're safe from all his spiritual
Yes.
toys.
You're safe from Eugene. You're safe from all his barang-barang.
And you got garlic. And garlic on it.
Garlic is good. Garlic is good. Wow. How Grace, what do you think of this reading? Any responses?
I think it's very like
Oh.
mind blown.
That's why I get paid to do this full time.
Oh, there's gonna be some long conversations tonight between them
Yeah,
after.
guys, if you want to get Amelia to read for you, remember to just message Eugene, and he will link you up.
Yay! Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you, Grace.
being our guinea
I'll send you
pig.
some
Yay.
healing energy to protect you from Eugene.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. I wonder if there's a particular type of sage that can protect you from Eugene. It's like-
Oh, but I think if she clear her energy more and maybe like a protective like crystal or something that might actually work. Yeah, or Eugene can clear his energy.
What did I miss? I couldn't hear any of that.
Nothing. You have
I had to
to
rewatch the
go
show.
on YouTube and watch the episode
Walao,
to find
Yeah,
out
you have
what
to
we were
watch it.
saying about you. Somehow her reading is all about you.
Walao. Okay, Ying Kong
Okay,
just
that was super entertaining.
Ying Kong
Okay.
just put in a super chat. He says, "So what are the cons and dangers of enabling or honing your psychic powers? I tend to hold the view that some things are left best
Best left
untouched.
untouched.
So
For
for
exa-
divining
example,
4D,
if you divine 4D, are there any price to pay? What do you
No,
think,
because
Amelia?
you are just divining it, and actually the thing is that you are not trying to change your luck or anything. So, for example, if you hone your ability such that you can divine it, it becomes like a skill. It's
Right.
just like, for example, those claw machines, right? If you are so good that you can claw 20, why not?
Then go ahead, right? If you can gain it,
$20 for 20, why not go ahead?
Correct.
The only time that you have a price to pay is when you go to a fortune teller and you say change my luck so that I can make this amount of money, and and it's not your chart, because actually some people in your birth chart, right, you naturally have the ability to win lucky draw, win lottery and things, and some people just don't have. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're as long as you're not trying to change your fate, and you're not trying to acquire the ability so that you're doing this, then
yes,
it's
I agree, right?
it's
Because
fine.
all the scary stories we hear about prices to pay are because rather than relying on their own ability, they are trying to borrow the ability from
Yes.
spirits, from
Yes.
demons, from ghosts,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That one, of course, you owe favors lah, right? But if you have your own ability, then free lah, go ahead.
Yeah, and of course the other thing is that, for example, you divine the 4D numbers, and then you strike lottery, and then let's say you donate half to charity. Then actually you're doing a good deed, and you're helping yourself, you're also helping others. So there won't be any repercussions. It's only if, for example, you use it to create, you win lottery, you use it to create a weapon of mass destruction or something, then of course you will get bad karma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wong Jianfeng asked a very interesting question, which I also wanted to ask. What about changing name? Because sometimes they do that, right? To try to change their fortune. Does it work, really?
Yeah, no, actually it's not worth doing it, because first is your destiny, which is your birth chart. Second is your luck. Third, you actually should do feng shui, which is your environment. Fourth is actually accumulating merit. Fifth is educating yourself and developing yourself. Sixth is a name. So in the order of things, if you just change your name and you did nothing about the other five, right?
Right.
It will have little or no effect. Maybe it will have
Okay.
a psychological effect.
Yeah,
you just
like a
put
placebo
spin
effect
or
lah, right?
anything, but actually
Yeah.
it doesn't really help.
Okay,
Oh.
got some questions I want to get to, and some of them I know the answers because I know it's going to be a very interesting conversation. Let me just get to this one first. Elation Adrian Chua is asking, do hunt?
Alsatian.
Alsatian,
What did I say?
Alsatian, Aiden Chua,
See,
Elysian.
even the psychic tells you it's Alsatian. Okay, not elation.
Okay, Adrian. Do Hantu ask you to help them to settle their unsettled business?
Yes. But
Do you do
it's
it?
it depends on what is like in whether it's in my power
Ah.
and whether they give me enough information to do or not. Because for example, there was one time where at a bus stop I randomly came across like a ghost and they wanted me to deliver a message to like the daughter. But the problem is that the area or address that the ghost give me like doesn't exist. So I also don't know, did the ghost prank me? or is it that the ghost is like been around for have been a ghost for so long that the address no longer exists?
Yeah, like
example,
if they
right?
give you the 4-digit postal code, what are you gonna do about that?
Never give postal code. Just tell me like this like address like where then. And actually, I thought it sounded familiar. So after that, I went to Google, but I didn't find anything. And I'm like, much as I would like want to help, but I can't. Yeah, but anyway, what I did was a second, I just like send the message out and say, may this message reach the person that it's intended to. And also the thing is that because I don't know how long the ghosts have been there, and
Yes,
not
you were
able to
sharing
reach
something
me,
about this. Yeah.
yeah. And so I don't even know if the person that she wants to give the message to is still alive. Yeah, I don't want to
Earlier,
like give a ghost and to another ghost to another ghost to another ghost.
Pass message.
come back and tell her she's on your side already.
Yeah.
No, just now you were sharing a little bit about really sort of old spirits,
Yeah.
right? And this is quite interesting, right? So what happens to these really old spirits, and who are still hanging around? Are they fading away and unable to give us information, or
Over many years, the spirits who have been around for a very long time, sometimes they lose like power because they also forget. So, for example, there was one point there was like a family who came to me, like literally the whole family, like the siblings, their grandchildren, and the wife came to me and they wanted me to like channel messages from the grandfather that has passed on. So I asked like how long has the grandfather passed on, and the grandmother has already passed on like for 10 or 12 years at the point in time.
Wow. Okay.
So when I tried to channel the message, right, I could feel the energy is very faint, but I just asked the question they want to ask anyway. But the joke was that the ghost like remembered all the wrong information. Okay, but yet there was enough like crucial like for example like what the ghost looked like, like certain distinctive features. I got that right, but when I channel like whatever message or questions that I was asking, everything was wrong.
That
And
with
then I
me
was
as a hantu lah. I'll forget all.
yeah, I'm like, oh my God, that
So-
sounded so bad. Yeah.
So senility will set in lah. Whether you are alive or dead, it will still set in.
Yes. And also later on, I found out that at the point that the ghost, not the ghost, at the point that the old man passed, actually he was already senile. So I'm not sure whether that like contributed.
He
to
remembered
it because
wrongly
I
because
had
as a
enough
senile,
examples.
when he was alive as
Yeah.
senile, he remember.
Yes.
He bring
So
that
no surprise.
memory
no
over.
surprise.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure like is it because of like that or whatever. But certain things like where he came from, like the part of China he came from, he got it right. But like certain things like how many grandchildren he got it like totally wrong.
Oh, but that makes also a lot of sense because as you get closer to senility, it's
Correct.
easier to remember the further past than it is to remember the
Yes.
recent past, right? Yeah. So
Okay.
So that was
totally.
what I figured. But the energy was so faint that actually it was even difficult to get a proper latch. And in fact, the session had to end prematurely because like after 45 minutes, like the energy cannot sustain. And like he just like suddenly just disappeared. Yeah.
But if this was a movie directed by James Wan, it will be a different situation because it will be a demon pretending to be the grandfather. That's why he doesn't know all the info.
But that happened. That happens,
Huh? Really?
Yeah, I went for my first like psychic class, right?
Ah.
I was very freaked out because I didn't know anything about all of this. Then I was like seeing all these figures around, around the people, and then around the people that were like in the meditation circle, and I thought like it was the incense like causing my eyes to or causing me to have hallucination. And then after that, during like the sharing like period, like the people were describing exactly like what I was like seeing.
Oh.
And on top of that, there was one figure whereby it was actually switching. So one moment it would look like Zeus, you know Zeus, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Blonde, like very
Okay,
like very good
sure.
looking. And then another moment it was like a really dark, like mishappen like face. So I saw this kid switching and all, and I was confused. And then it turned out that the psychic teacher actually said that, oh, this person who thought her guide was Zeus was actually not Zeus. It was a demon pretending to be Zeus.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Some more questions
Okay,
are coming
okay.
in. I'm gonna merge some of them together, lah, guys, because
Sure.
otherwise it
Okay.
will never end tonight. Quick one. Donnie Darwin is asking: is there a difference between geomancy and psychic?
Geomancy and psychic ability.
Or what's the difference,
Geomancy
rather?
and psychic ability, yes, because psychic abilities is inherent. Geomancy, you can actually learn the skills and techniques. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nick Gantz asking, and I think this is I'm going to join it with SSK as well. Amelia, how do you choose this path? You're naturally gifted, or do you train? And SSK is asking, do you have any kadam helping you with that ability?
Oh, okay. So, basically, in my own family lineage, I have several psychics. So, one of my auntie runs a temple, and then my paternal grandmother, when she was alive, she was also like a healer. Yeah. And then, so I think in my blood, I already have the ability, and my dad himself used to be able to see a lot of ghosts. However, I didn't awaken it until around like when I was like 30 something years old, whereby I went to like I want to go Egypt. Then I went for my first psychic class, and then that's when my abilities slowly started opening up. But it was only in Egypt that my full ability, because it was one of the places where I had a past life, and and it fully opened up like my ability in the Temple of Horus actually. So
Nice.
so that was when like everything just suddenly like opened up, and I was able to have control over my ability. Meaning I can turn on and turn off the ability, turn on and turn off. Yeah, otherwise I go to a shopping mall, I will have big headache. Okay, because I can see energies everywhere. Yeah. But despite that, I still have to train. So I went for a lot of workshops with top psychic in like Australia, and then I also went to do like 八字 and like feng shui with a Hong Kong grandmaster because I felt that it wasn't enough. Yeah. So I think the talent is important if you want to do this as like your full-time job, but at the same time you really need to train and hone and practice.
Yeah.
Can you skills future or not if you want to train under you?
If the Singapore government allow, I can create a
Okay,
course.
let's petition for that, man.
Yeah, we petition.
I mean, got animal communication, right? That's
I think that
futurable.
I think officially that when it comes to total defense, we need to add one more pillar, okay, of spiritual defense.
Yeah.
Okay, in
Spiritual
in
defense,
times of war, we need people to
Like
send
Indonesia, Indonesia, that's when they have a
totally, man.
spiritual team.
We must prevent like bomos from casting
Yeah,
dark spells
psychic
on our
attacks.
leaders.
Yeah, for sure.
Two other
for
questions. I'm keeping Candy Cha's question for later. She wants to see her mother again, but I think that would be in line with the third confession, which is coming out very, very shortly.
I just want to say hi though to someone. Doof Doof Paranormal, Karen from Australia. Hello from Australia. You're joining us late, but yes, it's a very exciting episode to join us. So yes, welcome.
Mark Shipo is asking, can psychic help to reap instant fortune? I think that's a quick answer.
Instant fortune.
If you hone your ability, you can, especially if you have the manifestation ability, yes, you can actually manifest like a constant stream of money. Yeah.
Wow, I trying to manifest concentration money also cannot, no?
That means you never hone it lah. The key is hone. A lot of people have manifestation abilities, but whether you hone it or not, and manifestation abilities, you must also have good clairvoyance. Otherwise, your manifestation ability is compromised. Yeah.
Okay. Last one. League of Angels Singapore. Capital letter. Don't want to pay super chat capital letter so I can read.
I think it's a spam bot.
Do you get attacked by demon when you read for psychically for people?
No, because honestly, the demons are not so free.
I love that. Yes, I agree.
Really, because in the world there are like tons of like people who are trying to make pacts with demons for gain and blah blah blah. So the demons are actually already quite busy. Okay, So they won't randomly kind of attack me. But if you want to know whether I have spoken or interacted with demons before, yes. And interestingly, they are actually quite cordial and nice.
Huh.
As long as you don't, come on, it's a bit like, like if I see you, Eugene, and then I just try to punch you, of course you're going to get aggressive and try to
Yeah.
punch me back, right? But if I say to you, hey, hi, how are you? You would be like more,
So it's like the
open
show
to
Lucifer coming in a
conversation.
pinstripe suit, all good looking and suave.
Actually, they like to appear like that. I say
Of
like
course.
a gentleman.
Of
Ah.
course.
It's only when they have when they are sort of maybe doing some kind of ritual, or when you're summoning them towards during a ritual or something, that they will appear in a different form.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
very often they try to appear in a nice form for
Or for yours to
Don't forget that vanity is also a deadly sin, right? So obviously the demons must be much better
Yeah.
dressed than the angels. Okay, angels
Yeah.
innocent, holy, so cannot
Yeah.
dress too nicely.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're tricky, They're tricky.
Huh?
They try to be. So I cleared a house before, which is
Ah.
under the purview of a demon, and I had to negotiate like with him. And then after that, I realized that he seems to be dragging like the time. Then suddenly, one of my assistants like reminded me that there was an eclipse that night.
Oh.
And that was already like 6:30, and the eclipse was at 7. So when which means that he may be trying to drag his time, because when the eclipse come, his energies will be stronger.
Yeah.
Then we may have less control.
Mm.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my
Oh.
god. Yeah, so tricky. Nice but tricky.
Okay, okay. This reminds me of another story you were telling us about a very particular kind of demon.
Yeah. The
that you want to share.
incubus.
Yeah. Please share. Please
yes.
share. It's a sexy story.
Yeah.
Okay. So children, please go to sleep now.
Yeah. So one like year into my practice, which when I was like still like not as proficient as I am now, I had several staff. So one of the staff one day in office, right, she suddenly started speaking in like a very low like male voice and everything, and it freaked the rest of my staff out, And then we were like so I was like, oh my god, like what's happening? So I was like trying to get out, and it turned out that because she has an Indonesian father, and when she was very young, the father actually planted an incubus in her. So when she hit puberty, right, the incubus actually regularly took her energy to having sex, and I think like transported it, or streamed it to her father or something like that, so that they can use it for the fortunes. And so at this point in time, what happened was that the incubus was like trying to take over or command like her body. So at that point in time, I didn't know anything about exorcism or whatever yet. I don't know how to like remove entity or whatever. So then to get her back to her senses, I like gave her like 5 slaps, like really hard, and it worked. It worked. I was like, oh my god, brute force work. I was like, oh my god, I so believe in brute force.
Wow, that's it. Next time someone annoys me, I'm like, I'm just gonna exercise you. Okay, hold on,
Sepak one time.
Oh, it didn't work. Oh well, better try again. And she was okay after that.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
was
she
okay.
had a pain. Her face was slightly swollen. But then she regained her senses, and that's when she told me like the whole like story. Yeah.
Wow.
And then shortly, but then because of the incident, right, one of my staff like quit right after that because she couldn't take it. And she's like, I don't know when it's gonna happen again, and I don't want to risk it. I said, okay, fine. And then shortly after this stuff, like with the like incubus in her, she also decided like to leave. Yeah, because she felt that she needed to find help to get rid of the incubus, and at that point in time, I wasn't able to, and somebody like recommended her a bomo who could help her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to respond to this very interesting comment from Doof Doof from Australia, right? So she says, finally, I'm so sick of everyone saying demons are everywhere. I have investigated where there were supposed to be demons, none to be seen. I still agree, okay? And it's
but
today's
demons are
theme.
not everywhere. It's like there's not so common like what you think.
Yeah, right. I mean, just now you spoke about like the lower entities, right?
Yeah.
Those are dime a dozen. They're all over the place, right? But demons are like media celebrities. Right? You hope and pray only that one day you'll get to encounter one, and probably never. Okay.
Yeah, it's
because
like George Clooney coming to talk to you. and trying to like cheat you of your money or something. It's
Yeah,
not
like
gonna happen,
not likely, but they
No.
can, maybe they'll send some lower things to come and cheat you, right? But yeah, because I mean, yeah, they have better things to do. They are the enemies of the divine, so that's really a full-time job, lah. Haunting the mortals is hardly their priority. So, but there are many other things you can be haunted by, so don't be afraid. Okay, yeah,
That's so true.
but don't be greedy, yeah. Don't be
Mm.
greedy. Okay, thank you for that.
We got some more questions, and but for now it's 11:21. I think we're going to be extending because we got no feature tonight, so we can definitely go a little bit longer.
We go on into Saturday, okay?
Because I kind of suspected today's topic is going to go a bit off longer.
Welcome to Saturday Morning Live.
Okay, so let's go for this confession first before we get back to to more of these questions. I got so many questions. I cut and paste. I did and good questions, right?
Okay, so this confession is very interesting. Okay, so we are heading back into the conventional dead supernatural aspect. Okay, so let's leave the incubus and the demons aside for a moment. Okay, and this is Yiling, right? Another encounter with the dead and communicating with her.
This one is really interesting. It comes with a picture that she draws as well.
Oh, the picture. Okay, I like.
Okay. Message from the other side.
When I wake up, I was screaming and I'm shouting, "Get me paper and pen! Get me paper and pen right now! Right now!" If people don't believe in guardians of the dead, I think this experience actually changed the way that I see it. She appeared in my dreams, in my bedroom, and then I know that she passed. I'm aware that she passed. I talked to her, and then she was like, I passed very suddenly. I didn't manage to see my children. She called me Yiling in my Chinese name. And then she said, "I need you to help me." I said, "Auntie, what you need me to help you?" And then she pulled my hand and we walked. And then we walked through this something like a dimensional thing, and then it brought me to her house. And then she said, "Tell my family that the thing that they are looking for, they have to look for it carefully. I put it inside the safe." And she showed me the safe. She showed me the location and also in the drawer. Tell them to look carefully. Don't miss out, okay? Then she said, "I visit Grandma. Grandma is sleeping. She's peaceful. And I visit your mom and dad." I said, "Oh, okay. So you visit everyone?" And then she said, "I don't have time because my time to go is quite soon already." So she brought me into another photo that we walked right into the living room of my mom's house where I used to stay. So I saw the photo in the living room. I saw my mom watching TV in her relaxed, the rickshaw rider position, oblivious to the two of us that we are in the living room, right in front of her. My auntie said, "My time is very near already. I have to go. I almost have to go already. They are coming for me." I said, Who is coming for you?" Then she said, "I have several things I need you to relay to my family, okay?" I'm like, "Okay, I'll try my best. Tell your uncle," she called him by his pet name. Then she said, like, I think she's relating to me like I'm her husband, She said, "Thank you for marrying me. I'm very honored that in this lifetime, right, I can become your wife. For all these years, that whatever that we've been through, I'm truly blessed. That we have two wonderful children, and now we have so many beautiful grandkids, Take care of yourself. Don't grieve so much. You need to look after yourself. Tell my two daughters, tell the eldest one, don't fight with your sister anymore. Learn to forgive. Don't fight with her. There are only the two of you. After mommy is gone, you all have to look after your dad. He is very fragile. Don't let this rivalry thing carry on. Live in harmony." And then I'm like, my eyes are really brawling and trying to remember every single thing that she said so that I don't miss out, Yeah. So at the point that she said she's got to go, right? Then I saw the background of that dimension gap thing start to open up and become clearer and clearer. And there are 3 souls that were taken on at the same time. First one was this very old auntie. She had curly hair, and then she wear the old grandmother sampu kind of clothes with brown trousers. There was a lot of smoke around, so can't really see the feet. But I saw my aunt. I distinctively remember what she wore. She had a sort of like small floral paisley kind of top, black slacks or trousers. And the next one, I was shocked. There was this young lady, she was about 30 years old, that kind of age, very young, wear very neat suit or a jacket suit kind of thing, beige color. She had long hair, straight, very nice hair, long.
Yeah.
She was literally screaming on the floor. And she was trying to grab at anything. And she said, it's not my time. I'm not supposed to die. I'm not going to go. No, I'm too young. I cannot go. And then she was like grabbing at anything, you know. You can see her trying to grab at my mom's furniture, but every time she grabbed, her hand cannot catch anything. She passed through like透明, like transparent like that, you know. She was frantic, she was screaming, and she was really young. And then I thought she was going to catch me because she was trying to reach me, but couldn't grab me also. She was frantic, you know, and she just kept screaming and said, it's not my time, I'm not supposed to die. After that, you see that there was a lot of the haze, the smoke on the floor. I looked at my auntie and said, what's with her? What's wrong with her? She was supposed to go, she's coming with us.
Same batch.
Yeah,
So
that's what
that-
my aunt told me. And then that's when the weird thing happened that I saw.
Yeah.
The old grandma was standing on the left, extreme left hand. My auntie was standing in the middle. This girl sprawling on the floor is on the extreme right hand on the bottom. Behind them, 2 black color silhouette came out. They were there. They were all black. They were really all black. And you can look at the silhouette. It has shoulder, it has head, and they look like they are wearing black suit. Yeah. But it's also black that you can't see any features, but they look very solemn. You can't hear any kind of chain sound, like, you know, like,
Yeah, some people say afterlife got chain sound and everything.
no, don't have.
So the head and all that is like not like 牛头马面 lah.
No.
Human.
And they never even come forward, no? They were just standing right behind, very solemn. So when my aunt said, my time is to go now, then I said, okay, you take care of yourself, we will miss you. I will relay everything that you want to say to your family. Okay, don't worry, I will do that. You know, then it started to, the smoke sort of like melted backward. The girl was still doing that.
Yeah.
Crawling and grabbing and very distressed and screaming. It sort of engulfed her, and then it sort of like pulled back. And then it sort of faded backward until the portal thing, it encloses. Yeah. And then it resumed back into my mom's house again. So that's when I wake up, I was really, my whole pillow was all wet.
Yeah.
I was crying and crying. Then I was still crying. Then I said, let me pen and paper. I was like 7 a.m. Then I was like, I just grab it and sit at the table. Like, calm down. I need to remember every single thing. So I start to write. And cry and write and cry. Then something in me prompted to draw. I drew out the scene of my auntie, that last moment of the 2 figures behind, my auntie, the old grandma, and the girl at the floor. I drew it out on a piece of paper.
Do you still have the drawing?
I gave it to my cousin.
Okay.
So I related in the meeting to my uncle. Every single thing that I say, right, it hits them right to the core. First is my uncle, because I call him by the pet name that my auntie called him. Then he's like, how the hell did you know that? Yeah, the things that I related to him, I sent him crying, because it was so real. That was just the same demeanor of what my auntie is like when she was alive. Then the final thing is, I showed them the picture. They were shocked. They were very shocked. Then I asked them, what is your mom? Your mom, when I saw your mom, she's wearing this floral blouse and with a black pants. They were shocked. They say, this is the blouse and the pants. We dress her in as her final garment in where she's wearing when she's put in the coffin. So how did I know? It was way beyond creepy. Then when I tell them, your mom say, you are supposed to find her belonging. And she said that it's inside the safe and in the drawer. Look carefully until you find it because she didn't put it anywhere else. So they went and they searched and they searched. And then they went and dig it out. What they found is what she's saying. It's her personal savings.
Wow, that's some intense dreamings, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, so I'm curious, right? Like, was this how much of this was dream? How much was it a sort of a portal to communication? What's really going on, right? Amelia, help us figure out what's happening here. Is it
So this is actually an extension of her medium ability, where she's able to communicate with people who have passed on.
okay.
And because she's familiar with her auntie's like energy, and her auntie very recently passed, so it gets more vivid. Okay. However, the auntie appeared to her in a dream, most likely because Eiling's her receiver was like not like fine-tuned. So for example, like because sometimes actually these spirits can appear to you even like in daily life. It's just that if you're distracted by other stuff, then you may not notice. So they choose to give it to you in a dream so that they have your full attention. Okay. Yeah. And in Eiling's case, what happened was that she was there as a receiver to receive the message. And also once the auntie had given her the message, the auntie was now at peace and was ready to go. So so that's why the porter and the two men in black suits and all. Yeah. However, so this is actually a normal, like it's an SOP, like normal procedure. So usually when I do end of life healing or I communicate with like a dead souls that we just like passed on, after we receive their message, we send them to the light, so to speak. And usually we will bring in a porter or a column of light or something. It's just that the people accompanying them or guiding them will vary. So Eileen saw black figure, most likely because she's not familiar with the whole process. So it's like you're seeing like black and white instead of colored.
Okay.
But normally what happens is that, okay, like sometimes we see angels coming in. If that's what the belief of the person, the deceased is. Or sometimes we have family members who have passed on a long ago who come in, to help them to pass on. And then let's say if you're in the Taoist like tradition, you will see 牛头马面, the two like spirits with the horse and the ox like head. And then so it depends also on what that person. So the idea is to make it most comfortable for the deceased soul to pass into the light.
Comfort, but also something you will respect and listen to, right? Because like if you are that lady on the floor clawing, you certainly need an authority figure, right?
I'm showing the picture right now. This is what this is what Eiling drew today, and she sent me. So the original picture has already been given to the cousin. This is a redraw.
At first, I thought they were swimming in the sea, but no, I think that's the haze, right? That's the haze, and that's the one that's crawling, trying to get away. But I think if you don't send authority figure, she will just get away.
No, but that happens because most people who have passed on, actually there is fear of the unknown.
Of course,
and normal human beings, everybody has a fear of mortality. So usually if we send, let's say if I'm sending somebody to a light and I sense fear, then we'll also tap into their energy to see who can comfort them. So
Mm,
if
I
there
like
is
that.
like sometimes it's your parents or
Yeah.
whoever, and normally you feel comfortable when you see like for example your parents have come to fetch you
Yeah.
into like the unknown, because having them there makes it known rather than unknown.
We
Yeah.
talked about this also in the Eugene Ao episode where we talked
Mm,
about near-death experiences and why so many people will see sort of relatives who have passed on coming to visit them in the final moments and all that.
mm,
Because I think it is about what your mind needs
mm,
to calm you, to make
mm,
you trust this change that's gonna come.
mm,
Right? You need other people to sort of reassure you. Right? So
mm.
you'll certainly see these people. Right?
Yeah.
So every time we hear about these neutral black figures and all that, it's really about, it's not so much about the thing that they are seeing, but it tells you about the person seeing it. If you have no specific cultural belief that's very
Mm,
strong, you will just see a basic thing lah, a
yeah.
basic
Yeah.
entity, a basic shape or energy, right?
Yeah. Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And I think sometimes it also depends on who, if there is somebody that's helping you to pass
Mm,
over or go to the light. Yeah. Because like for example, if I'm doing it, then I see myself in a role as a facilitator,
mm,
then I try to make the process like understandable and like easy for the deceased.
mm,
In any case, like if your body is dead for more than like 5 or 10 minutes,
mm.
it's highly unlikely that you can come back. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
Mm,
if you don't go to the light, your fate would be you end up being a ghost.
mm. And stuck.
Yeah, and stuck. So that's why we try to let them go to the light. And if the first time and actually there are times whereby we don't succeed the first time, then we'll
Okay.
inform the family members and we will then try again, like maybe like a few days later or the next day. So we try until they pass on,
Mm.
as in they go to the light.
What about those cultures, like let's say the Chinese, the Taoists, for example, who believe that then there's a 7-day window for you to come
Yeah.
and say bye and all that? So
Yeah.
how does that work? Is
So
after
so
do you
if
come back?
yes, because like if the sort of like spirit actually believes it, right? In
Mm.
fact, they won't go to the light until after the 7th day.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've seen like weeks whereby actually the spirit is there.
Mm.
Mm.
Like there was one freaky one whereby I went, it's one of my ex like schoolmates like mother,
Mm.
and then that time I had just opened up like my ability, and then when I
Mm.
went there, I like saw the person like dead in a coffin, and I saw the person standing like nearby, and I'm like, okay,
This
yeah,
is this
yeah,
is one of my favorite aspects of the supernatural in Asia, because this whole idea of like coming back to visit, is such a very important thing. So it had on my grandmother's funeral, right? We were in the void deck, and it was, I think, maybe the 4th or 5th day, right? And we were talking and talking and talking, and I was so amused because I heard all these relatives comparing and competing to say who grandma visited first and who she didn't visit yet. And they were teasing each other, and she's not going to find you because last time you never even telephoned her, so why would she bother to
oh,
visit you? And then it was such a normal thing, it's like raise your hands, who has Ama visited, that kind of thing, and I thought that's wonderful. It's
that's so
supernatural.
funny.
It's
Yeah.
supernatural, but to us it's
Yes.
very ordinary.
Yeah.
It's very real.
Yeah.
Oh no, a demon has taken Eugene. Eugene, come back to us. Come back to
Whoops,
us.
come back.
Are you okay or not?
Whoops, what happened?
Why? Your negative energy
My
got
chair
you.
broke.
The negative energy broke the chair.
See? Grace, watch out. Grace, watch out. He's so dangerous, he can break.
Oh my goodness.
This
Even
is the
even
one
IKEA
supernatural
is-
occurrence
yeah.
that happened on Supernatural Confessions.
Wow,
Oh my.
the spirits are like, no, Eugene, no.
I didn't get a new chair to borrow. I broke it.
I think, okay, go to IKEA because their furniture is very safe against spirits. Okay.
By the way, negative energy just does add on to your weight.
No wonder. I'm not fat, guys. I just have a lot of negative energy. That's what I'm going with.
That's very good. Wow, I'm on a diet. I'm exercising myself. I'm not exercising. I'm exorcising.
Yeah.
All right, man. I love it. Okay, Eugene, you said you had some more questions.
Yes, okay. I think I want to get this for Candy Chia. She's asked this a very long time ago. And she says, I want to see my mother again.
Mm.
Amelia, can you help her with that?
How long has her mother passed on? Depending on like how long, she can try, but the chances may not be so high, especially if like if the mother has passed on for a very long time, and there's a possibility that the soul might have like maybe reincarnated or something.
Okay.
But there's no harm like trying, and we can always like tune in to see if we can actually like sense like the soul.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this one we answered just now. Daphne is asking your source of psychic ability. I think that's from Horus, is it? Is that what you said?
It's in my birth chart, and it's also from my ancestral lineage.
Past life. No.
Yeah,
okay.
and then the Horus actually just helped to open it up. But since then, I have like various like lineage. I've tapped into my various lineage as well as past life abilities as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said your initial days you went to Egypt. Do you bring anything back, or you just went there to unlock and you didn't bring anything
Went there
back?
to unlock. You're not supposed to bring anything back.
Oh,
She's not Eugene. She's not Eugene.
Yeah.
I will-
Everywhere go and collect cursed objects.
I don't have a collection fetish.
I will have you know when Amelia did my reading. This was 10 years ago. One of my guardian angel is Thoth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Tough appears for people who has like karma or past life things that they need to unlock.
Okay, Thoth is the ibis-headed one, right?
Yeah.
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 Interesting.
Okay.
Okay, maybe you need a guardian who maybe fixes chairs. Okay.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ, his carpenter.
No lah, the father lah.
Father.
Yeah, he was full-time preacher. Okay.
ACDC is asking, do you have any experience where you foresee something, but due to some reasons, the future is not really what you foresee? Wow, this is interesting.
Okay, good question actually, because I am a big believer in free will. So I believe that if you can foresee something, you also can change it by changing your response to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of being a sitting duck, right? It's like, for example, imagine if somebody says that tomorrow you're gonna fall in the drain. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to
Avoid drains.
super careful and avoid drains. Okay.
Mm.
And then if I fall in the drain, then if I still fall in the drain, nonetheless, I'll be like, okay, what's the lesson in there? Maybe my psychic power is not strong enough. I have to do more, to train, Yeah, but I do believe that we have some measure of control, and the foretelling allows you to also change things, because like the time-space continuum, I feel is flexible, and therefore I do believe that we have a possibility to change outcomes, or at least to change our perspective. Yeah.
Wow. So it's like Final Destination like that lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to die.
Okay. This one is from Navinet. He called Peri. Will my questions be asked? Ayo, wait.
Okay.
There's a lot of questions to go through. Navinet is asking, can timeline and fate be changed or fixed? I think
Okay, your birth chart cannot be changed, because unless you can go back in time and rebirth, reborn in a different time and space, your birth chart is the same, but the birth chart will be the same, but what you can change is how you use your birth chart. So, for example, like everybody's birth chart, right? There are tons of people that's born on the same day, but why is there like people like Bill Gates or Ma Yun or whatever? I'm sure tons of people are born on the same day as them, but what they did is they leveraged their strengths. Yeah. So you understand your birth chart in order to leverage like your strengths, and then if you're fortunate enough to have psychic abilities, you can use those abilities to even transcend your chart. Yeah.
Whoa.
Interesting. Okay. I have a very interesting question here from Han J.
Ah.
What if referring to the picture just now,
Ah.
right? Yiling's dream. What if the three deceased have different belief? Then how will the two black figures behind manifest, right? So in that picture, of course, all three are Chinese, I imagine. So they're all seeing the same thing. But if those three were different religions and they turn around and look what's behind their shoulder, they will just see different things, right?
Yes. So so it's all about perspective. From the perspective of the deceased, right? They will see what actually is most comforting,
Yes.
like for them, if you guide them to be so. Yeah.
Right.
So for example, if somebody is a free thinker, then no point bringing in like angels or whatever. I usually bring in like their loved ones who have passed on before them, that they feel connected to help them on the journey.
So Yiling is seeing a neutral black figure, but those three people, like the old lady in the Samfu, might be seeing Niu Ma Mian, for example. But then the lady who's crawling on the floor might see something much more terrifying.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Elia Mona Lisa has summed it up very nicely. She says manifestation is in the eye of the beholder. Absolutely. I've always believed
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Timothy Tan.
Mm.
Don't think it's heavenly secrets, mainly to read energy and help the person. Something about heavenly secrets.
Yeah. So
Can
I
you
think
reveal
Timothy
heavenly
was asking
secrets?
about whether, like when we do a reading and everything,
Ah.
is it revealing heavenly secrets? Okay, I know, right? Like people who watch a lot of Chinese drama, the kung fu type, or the supernatural fantasy one.
不可泄露。
Yeah. I think it is true. There are certain things that you won't sort of like review, but when it comes, but what we are doing is your birth chart is there for everybody to see. It's an interpretation, and when we read your energy, we're actually reading what you are already ready to know. And usually, like for example, see in some people's energy, we do see cordon off areas where it's like it's like marked private. So I usually don't go and try to like,
Oh.
it's like going to somebody's house and this door is locked. You don't try to pick the lock and go in a room, it's just common courtesy. Yeah. So in that case, no heavenly secrets were violated. Yeah.
Okay.
Candy just replied, her mom passed away when she was 4. She saw a spirit from 6 to 12, but now she's 48.
Wow, that's a long way off.
So there's a possibility. Sometimes if like you're a very young child and your mother, like especially mothers and grandmothers passed away, right? There is a chance that they may come back as your guardian spirit. Yeah. So if they come back as a guardian spirit, right? We will be able to access them and get messages. So Candy needs to sort of like tune in to see whether whenever like you are most stressed out and everything, do you always feel like there's a comforting presence? Yeah. If there is, you can like come in, you can like come and like see me or whatever. And I can also teach you how to use the pendulum to communicate. Yeah, because I had a client before whose father passed on when she was like quite suddenly, and she was very upset. And then we realized that actually the father came back to watch over her, and how she communicated with the father was like using like the pendulum. Yeah.
Kape Diang was asking, may I know why I have not gotten any dreams? Like, macam you are in charge of that. Excuse me, may I know why I've not gotten any dreams from my father who passed away about 1 year plus?
Okay, usually it's because you are overthinker.
Wah, kena.
You fill your head with so much like stuff and rubbish. Like your father want to talk to you also cannot. It's like trying to call your handphone and you're always on the phone. Like of course he cannot get through to you.
I like that. So there's a hierarchy, right? Like in Yiling's case, for example, right? Because she's not trained, she hasn't honed her skills.
Yeah.
So maybe in her waking normal life, her auntie couldn't reach to her, so she had to catch her while she's lying down, and her mind is open, her subconscious is free. So in her dreams, but if you are the kind of person who even in your dreams you are obsessed dreaming your own thing, having fantasies, all then there's no room lah.
Yeah,
right?
and also because through Eving's voice, right? Because I heard the three excerpts, like actually it's the second time I'm hearing it, right? You can actually tell that she is actually open to things like this. She's not fearful of it. She's open to it, and also she doesn't overthink a lot of things.
Yes, she shouted at a ghost when she was 6 years old.
Yeah. Yes,
clearly.
exactly.
Throw the penny there.
She's quite trusting.
There's this question from Ronald Wong. I love this one, okay? Because it's something that I thought about as well. But I got a theory for this. I want to share this with you later, see whether Amelia thinks it's accurate. So Ronald Wong is asking, if parents come back as your protector or spirit, does it hold them back for reincarnation? Now, before you answer, I'm going to give you my theory first. I've read somewhere or heard somewhere that we have 3 aspects of our soul. One that transcends, one that stays, and one that, can't remember where that goes. But whatever that we pray to our ancestral spirit is the aspect that is on earth. Because another aspect of us has already transcended and reincarnated. How close am I to accuracy?
Is one of the theories, because also in, let's say, Chinese culture and Buddhist theories, the soul is made up of many different parts. However, I think my answer to that question would be that there's a difference between rebirth and reincarnation. So rebirth, usually the person being reborn doesn't have control over the circumstances in which they are reborn into. Reincarnation is like you have high consciousness and you can decide the circumstances. Okay. So for some people who decide to come back like as protectors, like for their children, sometimes it's also to accumulate merit and train their awareness, which they, when they were human beings, like bogged down by the trials of life, they won't have time to do it. So now, like that, they have the time to like just self cultivate themselves. Some may actually choose to do that, because the reality is that to a spirit there is no such thing as time. The linear chronological time that we as human beings experience, which basically aging that's not like matter to them. They don't follow that rule anymore. They're broken free of the time, the time like space continuum basically. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like Interstellar, right? We do perceive time differently, and I mean, because if you look at all the old Taoist law, right, when they talk about the afterlife, there is entire lifetimes there also, right? When they go down to, whichever level of hell and they're purging their sins and all that, they don't just go there for 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever, they are purging for years. And yet, reincarnated already, right? So time obviously is very rubbery between the realms, and that's quite exciting, right? Okay, Abun has a very good question. All right, Eugene, you will like this also. It's one of your favorite sound effects. So Abun says, my wifey heard chains dragging at midnight, and next day saw her elderly neighbors wake at the void deck. Because you love the chains, right? So my reading of this, right, Amelia, you let me know whether it is close to accurate, right? So I would assume that the chains are closer to Tua Yipek lah, right? New Thom Ma Mian no need to hold chains, right? But Tua Yipek are called into action when you are stubborn and don't want to leave, or you run away and they have to hunt you down, right? They are macam the FBI manhunt version of New Thom Ma Mian. New Thom Ma Mian are like immigration, welcome, pass through. And then if you don't want to come, okay, that's it. I call my Tua Yipek, come and chase you. So clearly it's possible that the elderly neighbor was someone who didn't want to go, right? And so therefore the chains were activated. Is that possible?
It's possible, but usually it could also be, usually the chains are activated if the person in question has maybe like a heavy like soul, or maybe does not have a lot of merit accumulated.
Right.
Yeah,
So
because it's a bit like Tua Yipek is a bit like a bounty hunter actually.
correct. So it's like not say a criminal soul, but potentially
but maybe there's
cumbersome
like some sins and stuff like heavy, negative or whatever. And then therefore there's a necessity to sort of like
bind them.
like do that. But the chain dragging thing is actually quite common, especially in the older generation, when the older generation passes.
Okay.
Okay, question for Amelia. Yo, my earphones pecah dia. One side cannot hear.
Too much negative energy.
First your
everything
chair, then your.
Okay.
I think Grace is cleansing now, so it's all bouncing back on you. All the energy bounce back on you already.
Shit. I go back to later. I go and see her in the room, and then she go ling 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 ling, pistol, singing bowl. Okay, this one is from KY Gel. I'm a KY from Australia. Question from Amelia. For Amelia, will loved ones and pets meet again in afterlife? Is soul group family real? Our pets mean everything to us. Will we meet again?
It depends, because for example, okay, your loved ones possible, okay, soul family is real, but as for whether you'll meet your pets again, depend on whether your pet has reincarnated or reborn into something else. So because the pet's energy are usually purer, so after they pass on, right, they very easily go to the light, and they and the purity of their love and their unconditional love and also may mean that they go direct into the rebirthing like
The
channel.
Rainbow Bridge, was that what it was called?
But also sometimes if they have done a lot, if they've given a lot like to their owners and they've done it several lifetimes, they may actually just go direct into like rebirth, where they are reborn into something like else.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one. Can by Hanjay, how come the departed can choose to come back as guardian spirits instead of passing on to the other world? Can they choose whether they
Yeah,
want?
they must have a level of consciousness to be able to choose. So, for example, the one that gonna drag away, probably the consciousness is very low.
Yeah,
Ah,
no one's gonna
But
listen to her request. Yeah.
correct. So the one that actually can come back, usually they have lived a life whereby they may have been like unconditionally giving, maybe even like self-sacrificing, and they've
Yeah.
accumulated certain amount of like good karma or like
Mm.
merit. Yeah. So it's not everyone that can come back. You know.
Must have
Okay,
coupon. Must have
one more.
coupon. Okay.
Without getting into
Yeah.
a religious debate, right? So this
Yeah.
topic about, I think it's a very interesting topic to discuss, right? About reincarnation. You know, some books are saying there's no reincarnation. Some is about reincarnation. So, what's your personal take on reincarnation?
From what I have seen of people's energies, and especially because I read past lives, right? So the fact that there are past lives means that there is such a thing as reincarnation or rebirth, rebirth and reincarnation. Okay. However, I have known people whereby because they do not believe in reincarnation, they actually get stuck, quote unquote, in a static state. So, for example, like they believe that this is how their soul should exist after death, and they are in that particular kind of matrix, like
Yeah.
for example. So it's like the matrix, you believe it's real, but it may not be. There may be something else, but because your belief is so strong, you're there, and you just keep reliving it.
Manifest your own reality, lah.
Yeah, you manifest your own reality.
Yeah. So that actually addresses one of the earlier questions I saw. I can't remember who now, but someone was asking about how, for example, Christians believe in the Judgment Day, but how is that different in other cultures and all that, right? And it's the same idea, right? That the afterlife is sort of like your corner of the matrix. So for some cultures there is a sort of end date that they're heading towards, but for some cultures there's no immediate end in sight. It's just a continuous cycle. So it really varies, lah.
So
Right?
I think the best way to look at religion and look at life is to follow the mantra that I use to get through life. Everybody's correct. You want to be correct, you're also correct.
I believe.
Yeah, just don't break your chair.
You're correct. You're correct. Everyone's correct. Wow, I tell you what, Grace, sit here, all the negative energy transfer. Don't know what you tell her. I need to listen to the recording later. I got people texting me saying, wow, Eugene, you're toxic. What? What did I do?
Yeah. You're so toxic that the chair reacted. Okay.
And then the
Right.
earphones broke too.
That's why.
Manifestation is in the eye of your furniture. Okay. Wow. Yeah, so you are cursed.
Yeah.
Can you please save that chair for the supernatural museum?
Can. Yeah, son.
This is the chair that broke on you.
Okay. I think before we it's midnight already, guys.
2 minutes
yes.
to Saturday morning
Now-
live.
Now,
Alright.
I know some of you have asked me about, you have watched the video on when I've done my cleansing with Guru Murali in the Panchakosha. It was really interesting. I know, John, Amelia, you have not seen this. Have a look. It's only about a minute long, and I'll tell you a bit more about it. Just a short while.
Yay.
Before you go into the water, feel your energy, feel yourself, think of your ancestors, call them, think of all your spiritual guides, your deities that you are working with, connecting with. They are our link to the universe. Om Rengamastipsa Jilikhe Swaha. Om Rengamastipsa Jilikhe Swaha. Go back into the sea. Release all your negativity. Absorb the positiveness from nature. Meditate for a while. Connect with nature itself and come back.
That's me training for my wet t-shirt contest, guys.
That's all part of the negative energy.
Okay. Pancha kosha cleansing happens once every 2-3 months when Murali is back, and people are asking why only about 4 or 5, because each we start at 9, we end at 11, and everybody is individual. So if it's too many, we're going to go through into the mid-afternoon sun, so it's not possible. And Murali will be tired also, because everybody he draw one by one, right? Cleansing takes a lot of effort. So there's one coming on 11th of June. If you want to meet Murali for that one, let me know. Once again, get in touch with me, 9459-4931. I'll organize all this. And also, if you want to talk to Amelia, see, I'm the secretary, Get in touch with me again, 9459-4931. And Amelia has nicely said, if they tell me that they are from SC, I'll give them a different price. So
Yeah.
This will add to your merit, Amelia.
membership access privileges.
Actually, like whatever we discussed today, if people want to find out more, I have a content channel called At the Other Realm. So if you want to know like more about why certain things happen, or like for example, if you want to test like certain supernatural products or whatever, you can actually check out like my YouTube channel as well. It's called At the Other Realm. And I think Eugene, I think you need more than just the like once every 2 months like cleansing.
I agree. Okay, this comment is in support of this. Okay, so Ellie Delay says, Eugene, you go Panchakosha to can break chair.
I tell you, I Panchakosha come back, Grace seat my chair. That's why I need to go cleansing again.
No, I think you just stay on the sand. Just stay on the sand. You should have brought some sand back.
No, because actually Eugene, okay, so this is the other thing. Eugene's energy is quite sensitive. So and this is actually one of the downside of having like psychic abilities as well, because you also generate stronger negative energies than the average person, because it's a pro and con. You have stronger positive abilities, you can't be having weak negative, so it's usually you're more sensitive, you also generate more negative energies, and you also absorb more negative energies because you're sensitive. So just doing the ceremony is actually the ceremony is good because it helps a thorough cleansing. And I feel like during the energy when I was watching the video, there was also a blessing. So it's not just a cleansing, there was also a blessing. So he's like blessing you with like good stuff, okay, good energy and all. But for people who actually like if you can still go for that, but if you want to maintain your own energy, there are like ways where you can use like maybe Palo Santo or sage to smudge yourself. You can also use like sea salt to like shower yourself. And you can also use essential oil just to like clear your energy. So this should be done in addition to like a regular, let's say, energy clearing, like what Eugene did with the Pancha Kosha, so that you can maintain your energy. Because otherwise it accumulates very fast. And if your psychic abilities, it accumulates like at double the speed of the average person. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I can break the chair.
Okay. I'm very fascinated by this. Sean Lim is asking, did all cavemen go to hell if they had no religion?
No, because there's no concept of hell.
Correct. Yeah.
Concept.
In fact, here's
Everything is a
something
concept.
interesting. Here's something interesting to take note of. The Chinese culture, long before, right, many dynasties ago, they also had no concept of hell. They believed in a place called the Yellow Land. Yeah, where everybody just go and hang out with your ancestors forever. There was no reincarnation even in the Chinese belief until much later on. So really, it depends on what you all collectively believe. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so I just
we are now into Saturday Morning Live.
Welcome to Saturday Morning Live.
we're gonna say goodbye soon. And I just got a message from Dr. Kwon Yu. Dr. Kwon Yu is our confessor. He got 2 parts. So he says, nice Friday Night Live. He actually wrote an article called Spirit versus Science.
Nice.
And he was so careful with it, such perfectionist. He edited it 5 times, and it's still not ready to show. And it's actually let me have it to send it to the patrons. So a very small group of people who will take a look at it and give him probably like their 10 cents worth. So if all is good, I think we would be seeing a series called Spirit versus Science written by Dr. Kwon Yu.
Nice, interesting. And this is Lee Kuan Yew or
No, not. It's the other Kuan Yew. I forgot his
ah,
surname.
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so I know Amelia for some time now, and we always wanted to work together. But busy woman lah, hard to reach her lah.
Yeah, there's too many supernatural stuff that needs my attention.
Yeah.
Too many people need cleansing.
Yeah, but
huh?
hopefully soon maybe can come up with like a collaboration.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Today was very, very enjoyable, and obviously it triggers a lot of interesting questions, a lot of interesting discussions, right? So yeah.
Okay. Well, if we definitely want to see you back again. So I also want to go to your place and get your confession. You have a lot of ghost stories.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me which ones and what topics.
Yeah.
Okay. For now, let us say goodbye, and we'll see you guys next week. I may not be able to do next week, John, but
because somebody is traveling.
yes, that's right.
So let's figure out what's gonna happen.
Yes, but also because we got Li Chia as our confessor. But I'll prepare all the materials for you guys. Don't worry about that. I'll see if I can tune in from outside. So maybe we'll need Alvin to come back as a smooth operator.
Oh, yay! Special guest appearance by the
Yeah.
postage stamp. All right, nice.
Yeah. Amelia, thank you so much for tonight.
Thank
Your
you,
time.
John. Thank you, Eugene.
It's
for
been
having
fun.
me.
It's
Okay.
been lots of fun. And thank you
Yeah.
to all the people in the chat who have asked
Beautiful.
such wonderful questions and shared such wonderful personal things. You know, I mean, the community is the reason why we're here. So it's always very exciting, and you can see how today's episode just gets longer and longer, which is wonderful.
All right. Let's any closing statements, closing one-liners.
Yeah. Last nugget of advice for us.
I think if you suspect that you have psychic abilities, you should actually explore it because it can be extremely useful in life, especially if you have manifestation ability. You can use it to manifest anything from a car park to like better like pay rise in your thing to like more business for yourself. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, from me, sometimes it's the hantu, sometimes it's cheap furniture.
Well, my name is Eugene Tay, and I'm saying that I'm training to be a medium because right now, obviously, I'm large. So, good night, everybody. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Good night. Bye.
What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.